Hey, it's Marcos from Cosi. We're going to be doing some flatbread today and showing you how to make it in your oven at home. We have our original recipe flatbread, our multi-grain flatbread, and even a frozen version to show you how to bake it when it arrives frozen from a frozen state. Okay, we're going to be using kosher salt and extra virgin olive oil. Okay, so let's get started. 1 tablespoon of oil for each loaf. With the frozen bread, you're really going to want to take care to really get that rub spread quickly, because the cold bread will really kind of cause the oil to stiffen up. So really spread it up. If you have a spatula, that works great. You can also just use your hands or a pastry brush if you have one at home. Okay, you want a nice even coating, an even spread, so that the salt will stick to the oil and it'll evenly bake and get a nice crisp color in the oven. Meanwhile, we have our oven set to 425 degrees. Make sure you're baking it in a preheated oven for best results. Okay, corner to corner with a tablespoon of oil. Again, you're going to want to use kosher salt. It's a coarser texture and it bakes nice, and it's just a much better product when it's finished baking. You spread that evenly. It's a 1/4 teaspoon evenly spread on that bread, and that oil that we put on there is going to allow the salt to adhere to the bread. Try to make sure you're spreading it very evenly so that you don't get clumps of salt. Okay. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to bake 1 loaf into your standard cookie sheet, and the rest we're going to put directly on the rack. Either one would be good. It's all preference, okay? We're going to put this in for about 6 to 8 minutes. And we'll check back with you when it's done. Okay, as you can see, our first time is set. We're going to give the bread a look. Still want to look at a little more color on our bread. That we set it for 6 minutes, so we're going to give it another couple of minutes so that we can get the color that we want. Okay? Alright, timer's set. We're going to check our bread. We'll start with our multi-grain. In the sheet tray, you'll notice a nice even brown coloring on our multi-grain bread. Okay. Fortunate to have one of these large spatulas. It makes getting the bread out easier. Otherwise, whatever you have around the house, just make sure you have some pot holders. The bread's going to be hot. Okay. First of our original recipes that went in from a thawed state. And the second original recipe that went in from frozen. You'll notice the same coloring on both. Cooked evenly, both of them. So it really is going to be giving the same result whether you bake it from frozen or from thawed. Okay. What we want to do now, is extremely important, is to allow these to rest for about 5 minutes. Preferably on a wire rack like this if you have one. If not, on the cutting board will work just as well. You want to allow the bread to settle, the inside to get soft, and allow it to rise so that you have a crispy exterior and a nice risen interior. Okay, we'll check back in 5 minutes. We're going to show you how to make one of our flatbread pizzas in the oven with the same setting at 425. Okay, for a nice standard size pizza that'll feed, you know, the kids and most of your family, we're just going to cut the bread directly in half. Okay, I'm going to show you 2 different recipes. Any standard tomato marinara pizza sauce will work for this recipe. Okay, you want a good 2 tablespoons on each loaf, on each slice, and if you want, you could just use the whole pizza and make a party pizza. Okay, so we cut it in half so that we can show you 2 different kinds. You don't want too much sauce. You're going to lose some of the crisp texture on your bread if you go a little too heavy on the sauce. Okay, 2 tablespoons is about the max that you want. Just nice even coating, just like with the olive oil when we bake the bread. Try and go corner to corner. Good thing to get the kids involved in, especially if you have your toppings set aside like this. We have some shredded mozzarella. Again, the impulse is to put lots of cheese. You don't want to overdo it. You'll end up with a soggy finished product, okay? I'd say anywhere from a half to a third of a cup should be good on cheese. Okay, we're gonna do one using this fresh mozzarella. Again, available in any grocery store. We just diced it up once we got it home. And we'll go ahead and add some pepperonis to our first one. Again, we like to work around the edges and work our way inside. Okay. I'm going to put these two in the oven and then get started on some sandwiches. From 8 to 10 minutes should be good, but check back after 8 to make sure you have a nice golden brown crust and the cheese is nice and bubbly melted. So while our pizzas are baking, we're going to go ahead and put together a sandwich for you so you can see different ways Cosi bread can be enjoyed in your home. Okay? We've allowed our bread to rest so it's nice and cool to handle, and you'll see what you get is a nice thick bread. And if you cut it too soon and don't allow that rest, it's going to stay a little flat. So you really want to let it rest. Okay? Cut it in sections of 4 to get a nice large sandwich, and then you can of course cut those in half. Do with as you will. We're going to make a sandwich using one of our Cosi standard size, which is 1/4 of a loaf. We also have some of our multigrain cut. Again, you can use these for your sandwiches, or they're also great just for dipping in olive oil, enjoying them with some garlic, some hummus. Our bread is so versatile. Once you bake it and allow it to rest, you can literally snack on it all day. Okay? Nice multi-grain, super popular. This is our original recipe. So with a nice bread knife, you're going to be very careful to separate, but not completely. Open it up like a book and fan it open. Again, if you do this, you allow it to rest. It's not going to be hot. It's going to be very pliable, but it's also going to have that crisp texture. You can see the coarse kosher salt that olive oil allowed to kind of stick as it baked. Okay, we're gonna do just a simple ham and tomato sandwich. And really, you can use anything in your house. We have mayo, we have some smoked ham, we have some fresh cut tomatoes, some shredded lettuce. Really, at this point, it's your preference. This is just one way of doing it, but when you have the bread done properly, any sandwich is going to be amazing. Okay, so we're going to have our lettuce, our mayo, our tomatoes. We're going to finish it with some ham. If you have some Swiss, some Gouda, some cheddar, be perfect on this sandwich. This one we're going to keep without cheese, just so that we can show you how easy and how quick it is to make a beautiful ham sandwich on our Cosi bread. All right, checking our pizzas. What you see is with our pepperoni, the pepperonis are nice and roasted. We have a nice golden brown crust. Our cheese is bubbly, it's melted, everything looks delicious. So I'm gonna put all these together for you. Take extra care because they're hot. Again, we're baking this in a 425 degree oven, just as we did our bread from a raw or frozen state. And the bread is going to be anywhere from 6 to 8 minutes. The pizza is anywhere from 8 to 10. This is what you're looking for in the visuals. A nice golden brown crust, nice thick bread. And what we're going to do is we're going to put one over here. Okay. And over here. And just to show you some different ways to enjoy this bread, we have some nice extra virgin olive oil with some fresh cracked pepper. You can use some of the fresh mozzarella from earlier. You've got some cocktail snacks. You've got a beautiful ham sandwich, a margarita pizza, pepperoni pizza, really anything that you can do with this bread. The opportunities are endless. Well, if you have some vinaigrette at home, add it to the oil. Just a couple of the many ways you can enjoy this bread once you get it home, okay?